Hey everybody, how are you? I hope you're doing well today. I've been working on the alley a little bit more, mainly in Unity. So let me go over here and let's take a look at Unity. So as you can see, I've added some lights. Yeah. And I brought the car back in with the trunk open. Let's hit play and run through here. And so here's our building here. Telephone poles up there. Street lights up there. So yeah, I think it's looking pretty good. This is kind of what I was going for, hoping for at the beginning, kind of a dark alley where some sort of a deal can go down, right? As if I know. All I know about this kind of thing is what I've seen in movies, and TV shows. I have no idea if that's actually what happens around here, so in a dark alley, but it's kind of cool still. Now having brought all of this in, I see there are some places I need to work on. So let me come up here, and I think what I need, there are a couple of things. One issue is take a look at the graffiti here. See how clean all of that is? Now that I have it here in the scene like this, it looks too clean. Like there's like it's just cleaned off all the dirt there. So I need to work on that, I think. I need to somehow fix that. Another thing is the fire escape. Where'd it go? Right over here. Here it is. So I brought this in as all one object. I UV'd it as all one object. And I don't think it's working because, take a look. See this? I think we looked at this earlier. The UVs are somehow off. So I'm thinking that it's just too thin and that I've packed too many pieces into one UV map. So what I'm thinking of doing is splitting these up into three objects, like this part up at the top, this here, and down here. And then UV mapping them again and reapplying the materials. So that's one thing I need to work on as well. The other weird thing about this is that this area right over here somehow has a glow on it. I don't know how this happened. And I thought maybe I accidentally put the glow vertex color on this, but I didn't. I went back and I looked at it and it seems okay, but for some reason this area is just glowing like it's, I don't know. So I haven't been able to figure that out, but the good part about it is I don't think we're ever going to see it, because what we're going to do is let me frame this building up. We're going to look at this like from up here like this, or maybe even over here. Well, you know what? You know what? If we looked at it over here, I wouldn't have to deal with my problem over here. But no, I think I want to deal with that because I may do like a flyover. I think it'd be cool to like begin here, and as the scene goes on, we kind of turn the camera around like that. I think that'd be kind of cool, right? So I'd want to be able to have this in the frame. But you know what we could do too, just for fun? Let me take this building here and I'll add a box collider to it. Over here, physics, box collider. And, well, you know what? I could do that for all of these things, too. Oh, this would be kind of cool. Wait. Let me do this here. Okay, so I'm going to select all of those, add a box collider to all of those. So now I've got them all over there. Now I can take my player here. Where is he? There he is. Let's take my player up here and drop him up on top of the roof. Yep, I lost him. There he is. Okay, so I'll drop him right there. Let's try this. Hope it works. All right, here we go. Haha, look at that. Now I can kind of peer over the roof. Cool. Can I jump that high? I don't know. Oh, I don't have very much speed. I've turned the speed down. Oh, I can't make it. All right, okay. I'm going to have to... Hang on. Let me go. Forward speed, let's put that to 6. Jump force, let's put that to 75. Let's see what happens. Okay. Now. Can I make it? Oh, I know I can make this. Hang on. Come on. Oh, man. All right. See, I love being able to change the rules of the game here. I'll put the jump force to 100 and watch. I'll jump right over the building. Here we go. Oh, woohoo! I did. I jumped right over the building. Oh, man. Okay, here, let's get up here. There we go. Okay, so this is where we go. Okay, so I'm going to... Oh, no, don't fall. Good. So I'm thinking up here. This is kind of where we'll see the scene happen from. Right up here. Right? As if we're a person up here looking down on the arms deal or whatever. Right? Cool. So yeah, that's the plan. All right, I gotta. Whoa! Don't fall off. I gotta run around down here. This is cool. I'm like Jason Bourne. Ow. Okay. So, well, this has been fun. You know what I could also try and do is try and jump. Dang it! I can't get it. From. There we go. Oh, too much. Okay. I could also try and jump over, but I haven't put any colliders on those. Okay, I'll come down here. All right. So, that's our scene so far. Having too much fun there. Okay. So, and one more thing that I need to do is put arms crates, gun crates in the trunk and maybe one on the ground here, because there's going to be people, you know, haggling over the price of guns or whatever here. So I need to put that in there. So I need to make that as well. So what to do first? Hello. So let's take a look at what's going on here. Glow might be from the MG Dirt generator. Really? It kind of leaves the corners empty sometimes if you invert it, I think. Huh. I'll take a look at that. Thank you. I'll see what that's all about. Do you intend to use HDR skies for lighting or just using it your own lighting settings? Well, I am using an HDR image for the reflections here, so you can see it here, right? So I am using that, but I'm not using it a whole lot. Let me come back over here. So I have that here, the HDR image in my skybox, and so it's providing some illumination, or it's providing reflection, whereas the ambient source here, if I turn it back to Skybox, you can see now I'm getting lighting from that HDR image, right? But what I wanted was more of a color, like a blue kind of a, you know, middle of the night kind of color. So I guess what you could say is I'm getting reflections from the HDRI, but I'm not getting lighting from it. So if we go in here, wait a minute, let me see. Yeah, you can kind of see the reflections in here. So that's what's happening, okay? At least I think that's what's happening. That was my plan. Let's see. Good evening from Germany. You know, I've seen a lot of, okay, I'm going to go back up and let's see where everybody's from here. We've got the UK, we've got Ireland, Austria, Holland, Denmark, and yeah, so that's awesome. People from all around the world. I love it. Okay. Let's see. So what do you think we should work on? What I think I'm going to try real quick is to work on this thing right here. I think I know what I need to do for this. I think I need to move or change the blending mode or move this down in the layers. So let's see. This is building A. So back in Substance Painter, let's take a look at building A and see what we can come up with. Okay. So yeah, you kind of see it there. I don't know if you can see that. I kind of see it there, that square around the image, right? So, yeah. So let's see. It's hard to see here. It really is. So maybe if I tilt it up like that, I can see it. There we go. All right. I didn't really see it before in here. So that area, that's what I'm trying to get rid of. Now I could try just doing something like pass through. Nope. No, these don't really help. I think it's because it's cleaning off the dirt. So if I moved it into the brick group, what does that do? Still not a lot. If I move it down one underneath here, kind of gonna lose it. Huh. I'm not sure what I need to do. Well, that's not gonna work, is it? Any ideas? Should I create a mask? No. Well, and also if I bring it down in here, look, it's over this part, but not over. See, it isn't going through onto that bricked over part. Well, I may just be out of luck on this since it's two different groups that I'm dealing with here. Interesting. I thought I could do that. As I said, I can try different blend modes, but it's still getting that area around there. See, none of the blend modes take care of that at all. Well, use a white mask to paint out the dirt over the graphic. So where would I put that? Would I put it underneath here? The other layer, brick, dirt, windows, etc. Can you create a master layer and apply the graffiti to it in the master layer? Oh, that I see what you're saying. That would kind of and then maybe I could then use your idea of the white mask like that. All right, I'll try that, and then if it isn't working, I'll move on. I don't want to noodle this all day here. Let's call this a master layer, like that. Then you think, put everything in there. Let's try it. Okay. It's thinking. Okay, then everything on top of that. Okay. But then not a white mask to it, huh? Is that what you're... Oh, but I'd have to go in. Okay, I'd have to go in and create an alpha of this, wouldn't I? But I thought that's what I already did in Photoshop. Well, okay. I'm going to remove that mask. So it looks to me like what I'll need to do is go in to Photoshop, and create, as you say, a white mask of everything that's around it. Right? And then, because it's got an alpha channel here, right? It should just be seeing through it. Oh, to paint out the mask. Okay. Well, I won't waste our time here. I'd rather keep going on other things, but I think I see what you mean. Yeah, so okay. I will work on that. I think maybe, well, here. Brush. Paint. No, I think... Okay. All right. I'm going to move on here, but I think that's some good ideas. I think you're... that I can paint that out. I'll need to kind of use a hard-edged brush and things like that. Okay. So, now let's think about the fire escape. Let's go back to Unity here. And let's think about this fire escape. This fire escape, as I said, I think needs to be multiple objects so that I can use more of the UV map. I just kind of slammed this out with Smart UV Project, and I think the problem is that it's just like pixels off, and it isn't quite seeing everything. So let me go back to Blender here. And let's select this fire escape here. And it's on this layer here. So if we look at the UV map, it's kind of a mess. Sometimes that happens. Yeah, that's a mess. So what I'd like to do is split it up into 3 objects, 3 UV maps. So let's do that. I'm going to select these top pieces like this. Let me go to the top view. Okay, so here are these pieces here. So I can go like this. Let's try that. All right, so that'll be my first piece. I'm going to split that out like that. Okay. Next, let's try this piece here. That. Ooh, I want that piece in there with that one. Let's grab that, split it out, then we'll just combine it with this guy right here. Okay, so we've got that. Now this, let's split this guy out. P, and split that out. Did I get that other piece? Oh, I did the same thing. Look at that. Same thing. So I'll just need to select those two and combine them. There we go. Now this piece and this piece and this piece are all their own thing. Okay. So I think I will actually make them individual pieces with their own materials and their own objects, right? And their own UV maps. Let's try this. So if I come over here to this one now, here's what I had. Let's go ahead and try this again. And go like this. Do not stretch. So that helps me a little bit, I think. Okay. Let's try this one. There we go. That one looks like it's not filling out the full space there. See if we can just take this and move it down here and then grab that, pull it out some so it uses more of the 0 to 1 space. Let's try that. Okay. And then let's try this one down here. This too does not look like it's going to be very, doesn't look like it's filling up the space here. There we go. And I'll just take this and move these down. Whoa, look at all this stuff. There we go. Let's see, this may not work again, but sometimes you just got to try it and see what works. Okay, let's try that. Okay, so now we've got these three pieces. They have, what I better do is each of them are going to have 3 different materials, aren't they? So I'm going to need to deal with that. So this is going to be up here. We'll call this fire escape top. We'll call this fire escape mid. call this fire escape low. Okay. Oh, I didn't do that one. Fire escape, we'll call it high. High, mid, low. All right. Now we've got to, let me change the name of these as well for the, do I need to change the name of the material? I'm going to use Vertex Paint. Does the material need to change? I don't know. No, it does not, because we're going to be using Vertex Paint. So I should be able to keep this same fire escape material on there. All right. Now, Vertex colors. Let's try this. Have the vertex colors held? It looks like they have. Let's make sure. Yeah, I think they have. Okay, so they have held together there. Good. Now, we've got our objects named, we've got our material, we've got our UV map, and we've got our vertex colors. I think we're ready. Here we go. So, we will call this something new. We'll call it fire escape pieces or something like that. Because this one was fire escape, let's call this fire escape pieces. There we go. All right, let's go see what we can do here. I think this will work. Let's see. I'm learning not to make too many promises with what's going to work and what isn't. Fire escape pieces. Open. Oh, now wait a minute. Did I? Let me make sure of one last thing here. Export FBX. Selected objects. That would have been bad. That would have brought everything into Substance Painter and it would have crashed. So, selected objects. That's got to be there. Let me see. So, as it was, it's 2.6 megabytes. And all these others are kilobytes. So, yeah, that would have been quite a lot. All right. There we go. Now let's try that again. New. Here we go. And this one is now 46 kilobytes. Yeah, that's a little bit better. All right, so here we are. Let's now, so we've got one material. That's fine. Let's now bake our textures without the normal and using vertex color. Let's also, I'm going to go ahead and bump the output size up right here for now. Let's see what happens. Hello from the Ukraine. Thank you for joining us. Is it possible to make a simple game in only Blender? Yes. Yes. Blender has a game engine. You can create all kinds of games in there. The main problem is publishing it. There are some issues with publishing it and the open source format and all that. So I think that's why you haven't seen many people using the Blender game engine, is that there's still kind of questions about, do you own the game completely, or what you have to provide to people. Where you don't have that kind of restriction with just Blender, if just Blender is a 3D animation suite or whatever. Okay, where was I? Well, I think now that we have the textures baked, we can work on some of the materials for this. Let's give this a try and see how it works. I found a couple of pretty cool materials on Substance Source like this. That's cool. So let's call this and move it here. And then it's got to think. And that is what you get. Let's mask it by color. Oh my! Okay. That's interesting. Ever seen anything like that? I'll be darned. Okay, well that isn't going to work now, is it? Something went completely haywire. Perhaps I need to go back. So, because it's 3 objects. Oh, okay. The reason why is that because it's all one material, all the UV maps are overlapping, right? That's the problem. Okay, that's interesting. All right, see, you learn something new every day. I'm still plugging through this. This has been an interesting process for me to try and figure this all out. So what I could do here, let's try this. I'm going to go fire escape high. Then this, I'm going to go, I'll call this fire escape mid. And this one down here, I'll call fire escape low. So this is interesting. It looks like I need a different material for each of these objects, even though we're using vertex colors. So this is good to know. Okay, let's try that again. Let's try that again. File, export, FBX, selected object, fire escape pieces. Go back to Substance Painter. Let's start anew and bring that in again. Now, let's bake it again. Vertex color. See, now up here we've got 3 materials where we can split each one out. Okay, this might just work. So now I'm just going to bake the materials for the fire escape high, right? Let's do that. Oh, but I didn't do it. Well, that's okay. Okay, so let's do this. Let's try this here. I've got this at 512, but I think it'll be okay for now. It says bake all texture sets. Maybe I can do them all at once, both the low and the mid. Let's try it. This is just cool. I love this. How's everybody doing out there? Yes, the fire escape was built in one of the lives. Oh, no, I guess. Yeah, it was. It was in an early stream, like 3 or 4, I think, in the alley. Okay, so we got those. All right. So now if we take, okay, if we take a group, call this high. No, we can call this And take this, put it in there. See what happens here. Okay, it's just going to go on that. Good. Let's see how the colors look. Better. So now give that the green. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I'm going to need to rotate it 90 degrees, like so. Let's take it way down, maybe like 12. Ooh, that's nice. And I'm not seeing any white or bleed over. That's cool. Ooh, I like that. All right. Now, and see what I can do, I think, is just copy these groups and paste them for the other ones here. You know? So let's do another one here. Let's try that platform. Platform. For this, I've got that classic metal texture. Where is that? There it is, right there. That's just such a classic of video games. But let's try it. There we go. Let's give this to the blue. And let's reduce the size quite a bit by bringing up the UV scale. Like that. Yeah, okay. That's cool. Now for the railings. Let's use that. Where's that iron rust? Where is that? Oh, there it is. Let's use that. Pick the color. It's red. Got it. Okay. How's that look? Yeah. Okay. So now what we can do, let's try this. This is going to be cool, I think. If we take these groups, can I copy them? Copy layers, fire escape. How about mid? Let's try that one. Paste layers. Oh yeah, look at that. That's sweet. All right, go to the low, paste, wham, nice. So that worked out pretty well. So what you can do, it turns out, is you can split things up into pieces, into other objects or separate objects. You can increase the resolution of the UV map by doing that because there are fewer pieces. And then you can give each piece its own material over here and use vertex colors to split out the individual materials here in Substance Painter. Wow, that's pretty cool. See? See what you can learn by just playing around? That's awesome. All right, I'm going to export these out. Now, do I have to export these out individually, or can I export them all out at once? I can export them all out at once. Sweet. So I don't know that I need 2048 for each one, so I'm going to try 1024 for each one. And then I need that Unity standard metallic. And this is fire escape pieces. We'll put that in there. So we're going to have 9 different textures on here. So let me see. I got a text from my daughter. Oh, okay. So she's okay. Let's see. Let's export this out like that. Oh. Okay, and let me, it looks like I need to call Miranda. So I better do that. Children, kids. So what I'm going to do then is bring those new textures into Unity and put them on this. No, I need to bring the other fire escape in that's split into 3 parts now, don't I? So I will do that. So what I'll do before the next time is I'll bring that in and give that a test. And I'll also work on that that graffiti thing there too. See if I can figure that out. And then the next time what I want to do is begin modeling the crates that are going to go in the trunk. So we'll work on that tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and take care.